for choosing to receive our invitation and coming online. Not really online, it's on set. I'm really excited to explore your journey. You guys are going to take me on a journey.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming all the way up from London up to Liverpool Podcast Studios to share a little bit about what you're doing at System.
Yeah.
Did I say it correctly? Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost, girls, can you just introduce yourselves, tell me who you are, and then we're going to kind of unpack a little bit about what you're doing.
Okay. So I'm Donna, and I'm co-founder of System, and I also have a job.
Okay.
A lot of people think that we do System full time, but no, we work at the same time.
Right.
And yeah, I'm a program officer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am Dr. Abigail. And
sorry.
Yes, I know. I'm Dr. Abigail, and I am co-founder of System along with my sister here. And I'm also a medical writer.
Nice. First question, is it weird working together as sisters? Like, do you like butt heads a lot? And like, is there any clash? Does it work working with your sister?
It's so weird. Like, naturally, we're complete opposites.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when we're working together, we actually really balance each other out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to argue a lot when we were kids.
Young. I never liked this girl when I was younger. But we have the same vision. And the weirdest thing with System, we were going to do it separately. And then one day we were talking about what we wanted to do. And it just felt like we should just do it together.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how System was born.
Okay. So tell me about System then. So what is it? And why was it born? Why did we birth System?
So System is a community and a network for young girls and, well, women at every stage of their journey through science, technology, engineering and maths, STEM. And we support women and we want them to have a community because basically it was birthed from our own struggles as Black women in STEM.
Right.
So Donna was doing her, I think you were doing your undergrad, and I was doing my PhD at the time. And we were really like, we used to call each other and like basically cry to each other. And we were like, oh, we really feel lonely. We really like, this is really hard and difficult. We don't see people that look like us. Like the higher we went, the less people that we saw that looked like us or even sounded like us. And yeah, we just, because of that struggle, we would call each other, we'll call, and then we'll encourage each other as well. And it was that encouragement that basically got us through. So we realized that sisterhood was really key. And if we didn't have it, there was no way we would got through our degrees and even like have a career now. So we thought that, not every girl has that. And that's something that we want to now extend to other girls. And we want to inspire other girls and show them that, you know, we don't look like the typical engineer or biomedical scientist. But then we got there, we are biomedical scientists and we are engineers. So we really wanted to like break those stereotypes as well, and do that together.
Okay. And what does that look like then? How are you breaking those stereotypes? How are you building that sisterhood?
Well, we started off online in our room. Well, I say our room, but it's my sister's
my room.
But yeah, you know, sisters, we love to take over our spaces. But yeah, so we started with like Instagram Lives, just interviewing different people within the STEM industry and just talking about their careers, how they got there, the struggles. A lot of people love to show you the end, but not how they got there. And we found it so important to share the story. Like, we were not the brightest in our class, but somehow we got there. And a lot of the struggles that we went through, if someone just told us, oh, you just need to go here or make someone look at your CV before you apply for the job, we wouldn't have got rejected. So we just wanted to, you know, give that helping hand because we found out that other people have that helping hand. And it's people like Black girls, we don't really get told certain like industry secrets. So it was really important for us to give that back. And through social media, Instagram mainly, we built a community. And all of a sudden, it started with like 3 people. And then it was like 30 for a bit because like our friends started following.
Wow, okay.
So we were just like, oh, okay, we're just 30 people, yay. And then all of a sudden, we're almost at 1,000 followers. And we're just like, I don't know if 1,000 people. So this is, it's like, whoa. And it just shows you how important what we do is. And it's not just like, me and my sister anymore. Like, we're actually building our sisterhood.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. And I guess my question is, you said that was all sort of online in the first instance. Was that Was that during the pandemic? Is that recently?
Yeah.
And if so, what were the challenges of trying to build that network, that community in that period?
So yeah, it was just during the pandemic, we were like, yeah, that's when we had the idea and things. And then we started, we created a page and then we just sat on it for like a whole year. We didn't do anything. We were like, we're too busy. At the time, I think I was just finished my PhD and I was trying to, get a job, and Donna was doing her master's, and we were like, it's just not the right time. But then we actually did the podcast with a young boy that we know. He was like 16 at the time, and he was like, oh, can you to come on to our podcast? And he was like, you need to have something to launch, so it's best to do it, coincide it with a launch. And then we were like, okay, we might as well just launch it now. And yeah, that's how we kind of just launch it thinking that it was just going to be a small thing and not knowing that there was a great need for it. But then turning it from being online, I think it was just more about the whole dream. So in terms of going into schools, we had this dream of going into schools and inspiring people there, going into our local community. And we realized that a lot of people that were watching us online, they really wanted that physical, in-person, contact. So that's how we kind of decided that let's move away from being behind our camera in my room to actually going out to see the people. And when we do that, just seeing the impact that you're making in real life people, it's just been one of the highlights of starting System.
And that's really interesting. I think that was quite a timely move during the pandemic. There was that deep need, that desire for that kind of social in-person interaction, because it's just the one thing that we were deprived of for such a prolonged period. So I imagine that was really a helpful thing for those that needed it at the time. My question then is, who do you serve specifically? Because I know you've mentioned schools and community. What is sort of the nature of that, the demographic that you serve? Do you think, yes, it's girls, women, black women that look at us, but what's the age demographic, and where do you reach them and find them?
Yeah, it's actually a funny one, because we thought that we would just be doing 16 to 18 or people similar to us, but it goes from primary school children all the way to working professionals, and we just give that support in each stage, because we found that it was important to have that support system. And a lot of the times when you want to do a STEM career, when I wanted to be an engineer and I said it, people were looking at me okay, why? This is so random. But it's not random. Girls like me can be engineers. And if I had that support system and someone told me at 12 that, it's okay, you can like makeup and you can be an engineer, it would have made my journey a lot easier. I wouldn't have to fight people I'm an engineer, and people will laugh. It's just a normal thing. So it's so important to give that support at every stage, because if I didn't have a family that supported me, I don't think I would have become the engineer that I am today.
That's a big one, social support.
Yes.
Especially when we're this big.
Yeah.
There's so much. I feel like it plays such a huge part in how we grow up, to view ourselves, to see ourselves. What did your social support network look like before System?
So I think it was really a mum.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning, she told us go higher. So she got her undergraduate and her master's when she was past the age of 40. So we saw her when she was going to uni and everything. And she was doing it, single-handedly, doing it with children and everything. So and she was doing it in computer science.
Yeah.
So, so we were just really inspired by her. And we knew that masters was the level that we had at least. At least masters in that household. And she used to, because she has all girls, and she always pushes her girls that you have to, go higher, aim higher, don't just stay at the bottom. And that
so there's more of you?
Yeah.
How many?
3.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had that in our mind always, that we should go higher, go higher. And even for me, that's how I even ended up doing a PhD, because I had it in my head that I didn't want to stay at the bottom. I didn't want to just do the little jobs. I wanted to do whatever the people at the top were doing. That's what I wanted to do. And I saw that they all had PhDs. And I was like, oh, okay. Bear in mind, I didn't know anyone who had done one before. I was like, I can do it.
Wow.
And that's how. But that's another story.
Definitely. And can we unpack that a little bit more? How did seeing Mum do what she did impact the way that you viewed yourselves?
Yeah, I think for me, it just showed that there's no limitations here. Like you can be a mother, you can be in your job, you can work at the same time, whatever. If you have a dream, go for it. And yeah, so she really inspired me on that, because there was a lot of guys on my course, obviously. Engineering is very male dominated. And when I went there, I didn't actually deep how many guys were going to be on the course. I'd be like the only black girl in my class, and it would be so discouraging. I'll call my mum and she'll just be like, go back. And I'm just like, I want to come home. I don't want to do this course anymore. I remember calling her one time and I was like, I want to change my course to maths. I just don't want to do this. And she was like, okay, if you want to change it, what are you going to do with maths? I couldn't answer the question. And what it taught me is that wherever I go, there's going to be challenges. Anything you do, there is going to be a challenge. You just have to buckle up and get ready for the ride. If not, you will never chase your dream.
Jeez. Bars. Absolutely, absolutely. I've lost my train of thought now. That was you had me at buckle up. Absolutely. And do you know what? This is why representation matters, because if you don't see someone that looks like you breaking barriers and reaching those higher heights, you almost don't see how you fit in that grand scheme of life. Do you know what I mean? So that visibility is so important. One thing I do want to unpack as well is just the system journey in terms of, it's been established. There is lots of movement. The team has grown. The following has grown. What's the goal? Where are you trying to go with it?
Yeah.
You can tell me how far you're thinking, but what's the journey ahead?
This question, I never know how to answer.
Is it too deep?
Yeah. It's just because when we started it in our kitchen, I remember we sat down and we wrote down like all the stuff that we were going to do in 5 years. We said we're going to go to schools, we want clubs, we want to do this. We've done it now.
Right.
And that was our 5-year plan.
Yeah. So now you got to dream a bit bigger.
You know, okay. We have to go back to the drawing board and think that this is so much bigger than we ever imagined. Right. And the movement, it's a movement now.
Right.
Before it just started like a little social media, a little cute thing. But now this is life-changing.
Wow.
So now we have to think, what can we do? Because we can do anything.
Yeah.
Together.
Do you know what? That's deep though, for you to get to say that you've already achieved what you had set out to do.
Yeah.
And recognizing that it's bigger than yourself, so you're gonna have to think bigger, further, beyond yourselves. That's a heavy task.
Yeah.
But there's a satisfaction in being able to exist and feed into something that is more than just you. Like more than just you dying and finished. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. But I mean, ideally though, in terms of where you would like, if you were to die today, 10 years from now, having poured everything into system.
Yeah.
What's the one thing, the legacy, the mark that you think you'd want to leave behind?
I always say if we can help one girl,
right,
just one girl to like stay in STEM, because the thing is, you might start it and then you're doing your course, and then just because of the way that the culture is, just because of the way that people have treated you, just leave it and go move on to something else and don't fulfill that potential. But if one girl says that, oh, I became a surgeon, I became an engineer, I became whatever, zoologist, just because, because of something we said or because something that they heard on from our social media, then that's like, I'm satisfied. So just that, and I think it's the same with like teachers, when they teach students and then that student goes on to become like the prime minister, that's just that same feeling. I just want like people to just stick to it and just continue to have that confidence. And we're seeing it already as well in some of the young girls that we work with. From when we first met them, they were really like shy, they were really like low confidence, and I see myself in that, because when I first started, people put me down so much.
You were shy?
Oh yeah.
Quiet.
Very.
You had to slap her to talk.
Really?
Because I was just put down a lot. Like if I wanted to talk, people just shut down my ideas and everything. Okay. And then, through my education, I came out of that. And I just really, when I see girls and they're like, oh, I want to be like you, I want to be like really confident. Wow. And I tell them that it's in you already, and we can help you bring that out. And if I can see a girl like going from really shy to now like outspoken and confident in herself and her career decisions, then Yeah, so I guess what Donna said about the movement, we really want it to become a movement that is not only just maybe a local thing, but up and down the country, like girls are empowered.
Yeah. Hey, I can't wait to see where this is going. You're gonna have to come back next year and the year after that to check in and tell us how it's going. But that's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, and I want to kind of unpack a little bit about you guys because we want to know the faces and the persons behind Système. Yes, your sisters. First of all, who's the oldest out of the two of you?
Guess. Guess. Come on. It's a 50-50.
It is a 50-50. I want to say Abby is the older one. And I think it's because you're like super smiley.
Okay.
I'm more serious, right?
Not that Abby's not smiling, but like there's like a joyousness to you, like a youthfulness. And like this is not to say Abby doesn't look youthful, but I feel like Abby looks like that PhD increased that wisdom.
Yeah.
That increased that PhD sobers you up, man. That's all I know. Anyway, I think it's Abby. Am I right?
Yeah, but a lot of people get it wrong.
Yeah.
I have no reasoning. Like I just felt like, and maybe it's because I reached out to you, contacted you first.
Yeah,
maybe.
I take on the big sister role even.
Yeah, she does.
What's the age difference?
5 years.
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, no.
Some people think we're twins. I'm just like,
I'm just like,
Okay, so sisters, we've got Abby, we've got Donna.
Yes.
My question is, what's your ethnicity? How would you describe your personalities? And how does that impact sort of the dynamic of your relationship? So I just want to kind of build a bit of a picture, a bit of a profile on the both of you, because for those that don't know who you are, we just want to know who is Système. Okay. So ethnicity, what is it?
Oh, we're British Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I couldn't tell from the surname.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
It's a weird one. Yeah,
Pronounce the surname.
Otri.
I wasn't gonna. Cause my husband's Ghanaian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And even then, my surname, I don't feel like it screams Ghanaian. Ikpe.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
It screams Nigerian.
Yeah. See, I thought yours screamed Nigerian as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Ethnicity. And does that mean, were you born in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that impact the way you think you engage with the UK specifically?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I was born in Zimbabwe, came here when I was 2, so the UK is all I've ever known. But I still identify as Black African.
Exactly. Yeah, we have the same issue. I feel like when we go to Ghana, we tell people like we're Ghanaians, like we're Ghanaians. We really, and they look at us and they're like, no, you guys are British girls.
They're just like, yeah, I am Ghanaian.
And they could tell like straight away.
As soon as we landed in Ghana, they just
have to
knew.
Smell you from a mile.
Yeah, they're like, no, these are British babies. But we really, I guess, identify as Ghanaians because of the way our mum brought us up. Like, she really brought us up in a Ghanaian household, although we were, went to school and everything. But as soon as you come home, like, don't bring the school attitude here. Like, this is Ghanaian. The food, the culture, everything. Like, everything. was basically. So, because of that, like, we really identify with our Ghanaian side as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
I don't really say I'm British. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, I'm Ghana girl.
Yeah.
But I guess we have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, we love being British and we love being Ghanaian.
Yeah. Okay. No, I love that. And I want to talk about personality as well. So I know it's not like a counselling session, and I don't want to but like I just want to get a feel of like your relationship dynamic, because I can't pick up on like what it's like. Everything feels like nice here. But I want to know what it is that we don't see. So like talk me through like how you see your sister's personality, how you see your sister's personality, and how you think that shapes your interactions. Go on.
Okay, so how I see Abigail, I think she puts on a facade when she's outside.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
How
I'm joking.
so?
You thought I was gonna spill the tea? No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Abigail's really, I would say she's reserved when she meets new people. When she gets to know you, she will not shut up. Like, she's very loud.
Okay.
I would say she's even louder than me.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, chameleon. Is that the animal that?
Yeah. Adapts.
Yeah, she adapts. Yeah, and I think she's funny sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, but I feel like I bring the jokes. Like, you know, when you just stir it up and then
Okay.
Like sometimes I look at her and I'm like, that's my work. Like, I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
That's interesting. For me, Donna is the joker of the house. Like, she's always making jokes. Sometimes it's hard to get her serious, but when she's serious, she's really serious.
Okay.
Like, and you can actually reason with her.
So actually, wow.
Yeah, because sometimes like my mom calls me Donna's mom.
Yeah.
Because very like I do take on that big sister role with her. Motherly role with her. But and she's very bubbly, very friendly. But yeah, sometimes it's just like I have to rein her in. I can be like, you know, calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she's very I guess what's the word? Like you sacrifice a lot for people.
Wow.
Like you care about your family. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing where we don't really like do this a lot.
Yeah, we're not an affectionate.
Okay.
Maybe I am.
She is, but me, I've just shut that right down.
Okay.
But yeah, she's very like she cares for her family, and she cares when she finds like she really works hard. So whatever is important to her, she just And I think that's really good when it comes to system, because like when she has a vision for something, it's going to be done and she will do it like how it's, you know, set out to be.
Oh, well, I didn't know we were getting that deep. Let me say one more thing about Abigail. Yeah, I feel like she is my backbone.
Wow.
And I don't think, my mum's there. As she said, she is my mum. And that relationship that we had is only because my mum used to travel a lot. So we kind of bonded through that.
Right.
And I saw her as the mother role.
Yeah.
And so she took over that role. If anything was wrong with school or anything, I'd go straight to Abigail. And mainly because she has that understanding, being born in Britain and also going through the school system, it was easier to reason with her than my mum that didn't really understand.
Yeah.
So it was nice having an older sister just so that I could have someone to speak to. And I think a lot of like African kids have that struggle of not having someone that understands exactly what they're going through. So it was nice having Abigail there to be that support. Yeah, I'm going to stop now.
That's beautiful. Don't start crying, girl, because otherwise going to have to get a Kleenex. Please don't. No, that's a really beautiful thing, and it's interesting to see how that might then impact the way that you engage with system, because you've already established this really strong bond, this sisterhood of your own, before you built it around yourself. So it's almost organic, isn't it? That you're just kind of building on what you have there. That's really deep. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. I do want to explore maybe some of the... I know I've already talked about it before, the challenges where I asked you about the online stuff, but the challenges of just building and establishing an organisation. Something you said, Donna, before was that everyone's always good at sharing all the nice things, all the achievements, the highlights, you know, all the things that are going well, but rarely do you see people being really transparent about just the obstacles and everything that they've had to overcome before they saw some of those successes. So I don't know if there's any of that you can unpack for us in terms of challenges that you've had to figure out how to get over.
Yeah, we love talking about our struggles.
Go on, hit me with it.
Yeah, so when I went to university, I struggled a lot because, or even before university, during like A-levels, I did really well at my GCSEs. So I was like, okay, I want to do maths, further maths, physics, and music.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I can do it. And then my mum was just looking at me like, Donna, this is a lot of maths. And I was just like, yeah, I can do it. I didn't really understand that the jump between GCSE and A-level is wide.
Yeah.
And also coming from the school that I went to, the education that I was given is not the same as somebody else that had gone to another school, which is not the fault. It's just money and stuff and just how I grew up. So when I did do my A-levels, I suffered because I didn't have that knowledge, that background foundational knowledge. And it affected my grades. I got like D's, U's. I can happily say that now because finally got there. But at the time I was very embarrassed. I would work really hard and I don't even think they say, oh, Donna, do you know Donna from college? They would be like, I don't know her, because most of the time I was in the library. So it's only like a few people in the library that remember me in that school. I was there for 2 years.
Wow.
So I had my head down. But yeah, it just wasn't reflecting. And yeah, that happened. And then I took a foundation year. I went to University of Brighton, and my foundation year, I got 100% in everything that first year. So it just shows you that if you don't have that support and stuff, it will never work out. And I think that is something that we want to help people with in STEM. It's not you're silly or something. You can do it. There's so many different ways to get into where you want to go. And at the time, I went to a careers advisor. I told them I wanted to be an engineer.
What did they say?
They were like, maybe you should consider teaching. And
I hate that, you know.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh. And I did consider teaching. And the worst thing is, after my degree, I went back to school because I thought, oh, maybe this is my destiny. Just because one man told me that teaching, that's it.
Oh, these things.
And I didn't enter engineer because I was thinking, oh, I couldn't even apply for a job because I thought, oh, I'm not good enough. That teaching is what I needed to do.
Can I just stop just a sec? Yeah. Some of these careers advisors need to be thrown in the bin because the amount of times people's dreams have been shattered because somebody said, nah, it's all right, just think about something else. It winds me up. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. And I feel like they don't even know the career options. Like they're just reading from a book, which is nice. Like you can read from your book, but there's also Google. Like Google showed me that you could do foundation years. And I think it was even Abigail that told me like do a foundation year. And I didn't even know anything about it. So it's important to have somebody that has gone before you so that you are able to take another route. Because if not, I would have been a teacher and I would have hated it. I was a teacher and I did hate it. Yeah, shout out to my students. But yeah, I hate every morning I would wake up and I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like I am not fulfilling my potential. And it really did upset me. But I don't know. It's just the support that I had. It just kept me pushing. And yeah, so engineering to the world.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And yourself, Abby, then take me through your journey.
Yeah, it's a similar journey. I did really well at GCSE. Well, first of all, I started off like being, I don't like to say, I wasn't the brightest person in like from primary school up to like year 9. I went to like the worst school in the borough.
Right.
And then the school really improved. They got loads of money, so it started, it became a really like the most improved school.
Right.
But then it got to year 9, and then my parents actually got me private tuition because my grades were very bad, and especially in maths, I hated maths. I was like, it's so hard, it's so difficult, it's so boring. I didn't see how it applied to my life. But the only subject I was really good at was science. Right. And I had this black lady as my science teacher. Aww. And she was so motherly. She was always like supporting me. She would like single me out and like give me extra work. And like the work, anytime, I didn't realize that the work that she was giving me was basically like the A-star work.
Wow.
And I ended up getting like AA in her class. But yeah, from the tuition, I became like the most improved student in the school. And eventually, I got like really great GCSEs. I got to A-level and I said I wanted to be a doctor because I was like, okay, I'm good at science. But basically, if I'm good at science, then medicine is the best thing I could do because I always want to be the top. That was the kind of reasoning behind that. And I got into college and yeah, my grades were bad. Like the first time I saw a U on my paper, I thought it was an A. And I was like, I was telling my friend, I was like, this is a really funny looking A. She was like, that's not an A. Oh, no. That is a U. And I was like, I've never seen this grade in my life. I was even telling her, I was like, oh, it's a C.
Did you have to like turn the paper upside down?
I was like, that's a C, right? I was like, even a C was like, because I didn't even get anything below a C at GCSE. I was like, oh, no. It was a U. And I ended up getting similar grades to Donna, like D's, E's in biology, all the subjects that you need to become a medical doctor. I basically flopped. So then, I couldn't do medicine. My career advisors were like, yeah, there's no way, like you don't even apply. And they took me to like, they had this big book with like all the, like a league table with all the UCAS points and everything. Took me to the back of the book and pointed out the unis, like the 3 at the bottom, and was like, these are the unis you need to apply for. Don't apply for anything above this.
I can't cope.
I remember crying that day.
I actually can't cope.
I'm like, my life is
Can we start boycotting some of these careers advisors?
I was like,
that's just such a demoralizing experience. Go on.
I was like, my life is over. You know, imagine being 17 or whatever. I was like, my life is over now. And that's the only thing that I knew. Like medicine was my goal. And then, you know, going back to tell your parents that, like, that's what my mum was like, you know, she wasn't having it. Imagine. But then I decided, okay, I still want to do medicine. Is there any other way? They were like, if you really want to do it. They said, try nursing. I was like, I don't want to be a nurse though. The guy was like, oh, but my wife is a nurse.
I don't want to be
okay. I want to be a doctor. He was like, okay, if you really want to do it, do like biomedical science, and then after that, apply for medicine.
Right.
And that's what I did. But I didn't go for those free unis that they gave. I went a bit higher than that. And I ended up getting into the uni, even with my like really bad grades. And then, when I was I realized that I was actually good at like lab work. I was good at biology and stuff like that at uni. And then I applied again for medicine after that, and I didn't get in. And this time it wasn't because of my grades, it was because of the entry exams. Right. I did like really bad on it.
Right.
So I came home, told my mom that, I didn't do well. She was like, yeah, Abigail, this is bad, this is bad. You know that day you just want someone to encourage you. She was like, no, this is bad. I was like, oh no.
I'm hearing it with the accent,
I was like, oh gosh, because I was like, what else am I gonna do now? And then like I still remember this up to today.
Me, please.
So I was like, okay, there's no one to ask. I couldn't ask for any more career advice or anything. But then she was like, okay, go and do your master's. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna go and start working. She was like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you actually gonna do? I was like, okay. So I went to do a master's in neuroscience because I really enjoyed like the brain during my biomedical science. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'll apply for medicine again a third time. But when I finished my, so I got into King's College, which was even a shock because I didn't even think I could even get into like those unis in the top half. Got into it, and then I realized that I really loved research. And I was like, actually, maybe medicine's not for me. And thank God I didn't become a medical doctor because I would be the worst doctor ever.
Do you think?
Yes.
Oh, she doesn't even like blood.
I don't like blood. I don't like, if someone's fainting someone, I'm just leaving them. I will be crying. Like when I'm telling people bad news, I'll be like crying. So like, God knows. And it was like, that's not for you then. And that's how I discovered like research and and what I am in now, and actually realized that I can be a doctor, but just it was not that kind of doctor that I was meant to be.
No, I love that. Oh, these journeys are really inspiring. Are you guys going to write a book?
Ooh, we should, you know.
Because I feel like you're taking me on your journey. It's really nice to
Yeah, we should do a documentary.
I really want to meet your mum at this point.
Oh, you would love her.
Auntie, you've done a lovely job. Okay, and I think to wrap this up, by the way, you're going to have to come back because there's a lot more that I really want to unpack here. But because of time, I just want to close off with you guys offering a word of wisdom. So let's say you've gone into one of the schools, you've got a young black girl that has said, oh, hi sis guys, you are my inspiration, don't know where to start, I'm not good at anything, my teacher said this, my parents said this, never done this. It seems like all the odds are against this child. How do you begin to advise this child to pursue that career in STEM that she so desires but feels like it's an impossible ask?
For me, you always have to go back to the reason why you're doing it. So the reason why I wanted to be an engineer is because I knew I wanted to change something within the engineering industry. I didn't see myself there, and I knew I could do it, and I could open the door for other people.
Right.
So that always kept me going. Anytime that I thought I wanted to give up, and remember that I am opening the door for so many other young girls that look like me to become engineers, and just change the like I'm a babe and I'm an engineer. Like, come on now. Before me, I didn't really see girls that with like, I used to go to class with my eyelashes, my hair done every time. People knew me in class because every day I would have a new wig. And they would just be like, oh, that's Donna. Like, and it was just like different. All my lecturers knew me because I was different. And that is what I wanted to do. Just bring a change to that industry, because it's just boring, black and white. Like, it's time to add some color.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So to that young girl, I would tell you why are you doing it? And once you know the reason why, that will always bring you back.
Yeah, that's beautiful. First of all, I just love the authenticity in your representation, even on campus there. I'm loving that everyone knew you because you were different. But because I thought you were going to go down the line of, because you realised that you were different, that you were going to change yourself, or that you had changed yourself.
I turned it up.
Good. This is what I like to see.
Blonde wig one day, afro the next. Like, everyone just knew me as that girl. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. And Abby, what would you say to this young girl that's asking you, where do I begin?
Yeah, number one, I'll tell them that nothing's impossible. And I always go back to my story of being like, I thought I was basically dumb. Like, I just thought I couldn't do it. And I actually just took self-belief and encouragement, and I actually got to where I am now. So I'll say that no dream is impossible, even though you might not see people that look like you, but maybe it's because you're the one that's meant to be that trailblazer and that, you know, that first person to actually pave a way for others. And I'll just say, in terms of like where to begin, research. Like, most of the the jobs that I do or have done, I didn't know about them. Even the current job I'm doing now, didn't know about it 2 years ago. It was research that got me there. Like, do your research, start like putting yourself out there, because like, no one's gonna know you in your room. Like, you need to like put yourself out there, meet people, and these are like, people are so like, they want to help. You know, so
LinkedIn.
Words.
You might get those people that, you know, might not help, but the worst someone could say is no. So just like really put yourself out there, and you're gonna make it. Like, just there's gonna be a time where it's gonna be like really hard. Like, during my PhD, that's another story I'll come back and tell.
You're gonna have to come back.
That was a struggle.
That's a journey in itself.
Yeah, but I was still able to do it. So I would say, just believe in yourself, and that, I think it starts from that self-belief. And then the rest is
beautiful.
Beautiful. Can I just add one thing?
Yes, please.
A year ago, we didn't even know we'd be sitting here. So it just tells you how your life can change a day.
Word.
But all we said was yes. When people asked us stuff, we were like, yes, we would do this. We'll put ourselves out there. And I think that is what people need to start doing. Just accept the opportunities that are in front of you and make the most of it.
Opportunity meeting preparedness leading to that success. But what I'm seeing there is, obviously, you guys have been on that journey. You're doing so much. You're putting yourself out there. You're making yourself available to the community and building. And the success of that is just the fact that you have made yourself available. Going what we just said there about networking and putting yourself out there, using LinkedIn and putting yourself in a space where people can come and find you. That's where the success is. What I do find, thinking about the students, thinking about schools, is that there's a lot of young people that don't know how to do that. They don't know how to network. They don't know how to put themselves out there. And I think that in itself is a whole piece of work, and kind of building confidence and teaching young Black girls specifically how to advocate for themselves and how to be bold and confident in presenting themselves to the world. Unashamed, unapologetically. But it's nice to see you guys modeling that and being able to just share your journey, share your story. You're going to have to come back. I've said it 3 times now.
We will.
I've said it 3 times now. Do you know what I mean? But thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for just being so transparent with us. There's so much more that we can unpack. But finally, before we go, if people want to find you, engage with you, where can they reach you?
So you can follow us on @SystemUK on Instagram, System UK on LinkedIn, System UK on TikTok, and we're also on YouTube. Gosh, we're also on YouTube.
You got a YouTube channel?
We do, but we haven't started uploading yet.
Okay.
We will
start.
Watch
this space.
Watch this space. System UK everywhere on all platforms.
Lovely, beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.